ago, in my community in Albany, New York, the FBI targeted Yassin Aref, the imam of one of our mosques, using tricks and money and manipulation and so-called secret evidence. The FBI was able to put together a sting operation that entrapped Aref and a fellow member of the mosque. So tricky was the FBI plot that I am convinced Aref had no idea anything illegal was being discussed right up to the moment when they arrested him. To this day, Aref tells people, go through the evidence, find anything I said or did that was wrong, and I will accept the punishment. But please tell me what I did wrong so that I can explain to my wife and my 4 children why I am in jail. I have studied the evidence. His lawyers have studied the evidence. The community in Albany, New York, has studied the evidence. We cannot find anything that Aref said or did that was wrong, and we believe that he is an innocent man wrongly imprisoned for 15 years. Since my involvement with the case, I have tried to spend at least a night a week with Aref's wife and children. I have seen how his conviction has devastated the family and the community that used to rely on him. The wife and children have no income. The community has tried to support them, but the family is always lacking basic needs. The wife grieves her husband to such an extent that at times she seems paralyzed. Their children are very bright and affectionate, but without their father's guidance, they are struggling to find their way. Their presence is a daily reminder that the U.S. government has targeted the Muslim community with unfair and unjust prosecutions, and that innocent people, wives, children, and defendants are suffering as a result. At first, the non-Muslim community in Albany tried to see what we could do in cooperation with the Muslim community to help the families of the men who were convicted. To this day, we continue our partnership to provide money and support. However, we soon realized that the tragedy of Aref's conviction and that of his co-defendants is just one of hundreds of such convictions all across the country that target Muslims. The government proudly calls these illegal convictions preemptive prosecutions. That is, prosecuting Muslims before they have an opportunity to commit a crime. We believe the program of preemptive prosecutions is illegal and outrageous. You cannot legally target people for crimes they have not committed. There are groups all over the country like ours that are supporting Muslims who were wrongfully convicted. All of us are struggling to find a way to bring fairness and justice back to a criminal justice system that seems to have run amok and is devouring innocent Muslims. Last summer, several groups supporting innocent Muslims met at Albany, New York Law School to discuss how we could corroborate and raise the issue of unjust prosecution of Muslims. We decided to call this cooperative effort Project SALAM, Support and Legal Advocacy for Muslims. We decided to collect a database of all the Muslims who have been preemptively prosecuted, and then to analyze these cases to show in what way the prosecutions were illegal. We decided to support Muslim defendants anywhere who were illegally targeted and give legal advice and help. And we decided to write to President Obama and Attorney General Holder to object to the policies that target innocent people. We have sent 3 letters so far to the President analyzing various cases and illegal policies of the government. The letters and database are all posted at the Project SALAM website, and I hope you will all go to read about our mission and join us in advocating for justice. I am here today on behalf of Project SALAM to tell you there is a community of people all across the country that cares about justice and what is being done to innocent Muslims. We are advocating on behalf of Dr. Rafal Dafir, Syed Fahad Hashmi, Sami Al-Aryan. We are concerned about the Newburgh 4, the Fort Dix 5, the Lackawanna 6, and hundreds of other such cases across the country. Each one of these cases has become as important to us and to you as well. If even one person is unjustly convicted, our system is weakened and endangers everyone. Today, there are hundreds of innocent Muslims being convicted, and we must shout out objections so loudly that the White House can no longer ignore injustice being done to Muslims in the name of America. It is Project SALAM, www.projectsalam.org. I would next like to read a statement from Imam Yassin Aref. He wrote this for this rally. He is imprisoned in the Communications Management Unit, the so-called Little Guantanamo in Marion, Illinois. He says, "Thank you for coming and for giving me this opportunity. It's an honor to be invited to speak to you. You are all here today because we want the one who lives in the White House to hear our voices. We are here to ask, what has happened to his promises? Where is the change that he talked about? How can he allow the Bureau of Prisons to turn human beings into numbers with no dignity and no rights? I represent one of those numbers. My name is Yassin Aref. My number is CMU 12778-052. I have this message for Mr. President and our representatives in Congress. You asked the Iranian government to respect its people, while all over here the government is still terrorizing Muslims and the immigrant community. You asked the Iranian government to give freedom to its youth, and here the government targets and frames and entraps Muslim youth, and then gives them life behind bars. You want the Iraqi government to give equal rights to Sunni, Shia, and Kurd, while the government here puts Muslim inmates in special units and treats them differently. You want to close Guantanamo, but you don't say anything about the CMUs in Terre Haute, Indiana, and Marion, Illinois. Mr. President, the CMUs are no different than Guantanamo. What kind of democracy can carry overseas while here your government refuses to release the torture memos, declassify and put a stop to secret evidence used to